George Pickens highlights it all. And while we'll wait until tomorrow to get that final injury report out, Pittsburgh Steelers and Kansas City Chiefs, we do have some news. George Pickens says that he is still not cleared, not 100% medically ready to go, I guess, against Kansas City Chiefs. Hopes to play, was a full participant today for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we're still waiting. I'll tell you what I know. I believe George Pickens is good to go. I don't even think he's going to have an injury designation heading into this. That's how confident I am at this point in the week when it comes to George Pickens and the Pittsburgh Steelers and where their superstar wide receiver stands. And yeah, I mean, you'd hope that George is not pushing himself. You're hoping that the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking this in an approach where they're trying to balance. You got to win the AFC North, and at the same time, you got to keep George Pickens healthy, but it feels like we've waited long enough. George Pickens should be out there, and the Steelers' good news should continue. I expect Deshaun Elliott to play as well. I expect Larry Ogunjobi to play as well. I expect Dante Jackson to play as well. I do not expect Joey Porter Jr. to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And all in all, clean bill of health outside of your one starting corner is a pretty good place to be. Starting football-wise, you could go to the backups and say, I don't know what to feel about Ben Skoranek. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He was, as of today, did not participate. Yeah. Not feeling good about that one. You got to look at it and feel pretty okay that the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming out of this one and a lot more healthy. Does it improve, you think, your hopes in the Pittsburgh Steelers to have all these names back?
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, one of the biggest issues was injuries. Yes, the players on the field didn't perform up to snuff. I mean, you talked yesterday about Russell Wilson. A lot of people have talked about the Steelers' defensive front and how they got basically bullied by the Baltimore Ravens offensive line a week after being bullied by the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line to a certain extent. But I think when you get some of these guys back, especially in the secondary, because listen, James Pierre, Corey Trice, valiant effort, but you don't want them going out there against Patrick Mahomes and what is seemingly a wide receiver core on the rise, and they already have one of the best tight ends in the history of football. You want these guys to be back healthy. You want Deshaun Elliott to be able to get his feet underneath them before the playoffs. So considering what we saw yesterday with a lot of veteran days off, but a long list on the injury report, to see 80% of those names be full participant today is a very good sign for the Steelers and will help in a lot of areas that they lacked last week or I guess 2 days ago and a week ago.
Yeah, I agree. What's your confidence level in these guys right now? What's your confidence level in a healthy Pittsburgh Steelers? Overall, not just Kansas City. I'm talking overall. 2.5 weeks ago, we're talking how good this team could be. The ceiling is massive, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, 2 days ago, we're talking about this team's garbage. It's over. It's done. Well, here we are today. Well, where's your overall healthy Pittsburgh Steelers? Mm-hmm. Where do you stand? Jingle bells, jingle all the way to my partners at DraftKings. The holidays are finally here, and my partners at DraftKings have the perfect gift for you. Right now, all new DraftKings customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using my promo code ALLSteelers. The crown is yours. That's right. New customers get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins after betting just $5. And don't forget to stay in the action and use your $150 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. I do it all the time. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings daily fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code ALLSteelers and bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's promo code ALLSteelers only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
The one thing that bothers me is they haven't really beaten a winning team since week 11. And in that game, they didn't score a touchdown. That was against the Baltimore Ravens. So even healthy, I think I would look at them as a team that is a tough out in the playoffs, but not a team that I'm banking on to go on a run. Again, if they can prove that they can beat a good winning team in these last 2 weeks, or maybe in the first round of the playoffs, then you start to kind of reassess. But as of right now, they started off 5-0 against winning teams. 3 of them were in the first 3 weeks of the season. The other 2 were a road game against the Commanders, which they won by the skin of their teeth, and then a Baltimore Ravens game in which was a Baltimore Ravens game, and they won off the foot of Chris Boswell. I need to see them be able to, especially after the last 2 weeks, late in a game, make the plays necessary to close things out, because they haven't been able to do that against good teams in the later portion of the season. Once I see that, I'll reassess. But right now I see them as a team that, if they're fully healthy, they can make it tough on another team. But I would still say they're an underdog in pretty much every matchup they go up against, unless it's Denver or the Chargers.
Yeah, I maybe Houston. I might put Houston
in
there.
Houston.
Yeah, I don't feel confident about Houston, especially after losing Tank Dell. They're almost in the same boat as the Steelers to me. Like a team that has a lot of talent, maybe not living up to that talent, beat up a little bit. And because of that, I might put the Steelers in the same tier. I'm not going to say above them, same tier, I would say, where it goes Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, and even Baltimore, I think, might be below Kansas City, Buffalo. Then another step down, and then it's Pittsburgh, Houston, and then it's the LA and Denver. But I agree with you. Like, it's been a while, and I think that's where things get confusing almost, is it's been a while. At the same time, think of everything that's happened in that while. A lot of bad. Steelers are getting banged up left and right. They're also not really awarded the opportunity to play good teams. Then they are awarded an opportunity to play good teams in Baltimore and Philadelphia, but they're already super banged up by the time that they are playing those teams. They're also in a stretch of 6 games. Now they're going to play Kansas City 3 days later. It's just everything that's transpired since Chris Boswell hit those 6 field goals has just been very strange and almost overwhelming for every party included. And I think because of that, I'm trying to be more forgiving while at the same time acknowledging you're not wrong. You know, nobody, the skepticism, the worry about the Pittsburgh Steelers is pretty accurate right now. But how much does that change if you beat Kansas City? Everything changes. And what are the opportunity? What's the shot that they actually could beat Kansas City? I'm not going to say 0. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's impossible. Am I confident in it? I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's 0. I just think so much has happened. So I agree with you. I think a healthy Pittsburgh Steelers is almost confusing. Like, the expectation for the Steelers almost confusing right now where we stand. But we'll see tomorrow. The Pittsburgh Steelers injury report, the final one, will come out tomorrow just about 4:00. We'll know about everybody. But George Pickens says he's still not cleared. But as a full participant, you got to think he's as close as can possibly be. And at this point, I mean, you're just waiting on Deshaun, who looked good today, and Dante Jackson, who said he's playing, to return ahead of Week 17.